A local nonprofit with a mission of keeping families together and kids out of foster care is seeing a growing need for volunteers. Here to talk about it is Dr. Standralyn Terry. Did I get it
That's
right, Standralyn?
perfect. My mom would be proud.
All right, Dr. Terry, nice to see you. She is the executive director of Northeast Florida's Better Together. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We're also joined by Tiffani and William Lancaster, a volunteer host family for Better Together. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Terry, the goal of your group is ultimately to keep kids out of foster care, but the need is still kind of growing. Explain what the need is. You've expressed that there's maybe 16 host families that there's an urgent need for.
Yes, yes. Here in the state of Florida, we feel like we are going into a foster care crisis. There are over 20,000 calls to the abuse hotline every month in the state of Florida, and a lot of those are neglect. We want to work further upstream to work with parents so that they could keep their children safe and the family stays together to prevent that need for foster care, reduce their risk for getting to that point. So, what we do is we work with families who are going through hard times. We provide them support services, job coaching to get them connected to employment, mentoring if they just need to be connected to resources or an accountability partner, a prayer partner, and host families like the Lancasters here who open up their home on a short-term basis to the children in the family while we work with the parents to resolve their crisis. And yes, there's a huge need. 17 host families would put a huge dent in that need for children going into foster care.
And so the circumstances that you might be of assistance in could be anything from a parent who's lost a job and sort of needs some time to regain their footing to maybe a family that's affected by a hurricane.
Absolutely. Those are very real and situations that we have run into right here in Northeast Florida. We have moms hosting could go anywhere from an hour up to 90 days based on the needs of the family and the availability of the host family. We've hosted children for 2 hours so that parents could go for a job interview or for a few days while parents give birth to a new child, but they don't have a safe place or extended family that's local to the area who could watch after those children.
So, Tiffani, what is it that made you and your husband decide that you wanted to be a part of this and open your home?
We first heard about the mission back in about 2024, and our heart's desire is to always see families stay together. So when we heard Better Together's mission was foster care prevention and keeping families together, we knew that was something we wanted to be a part of.
Did you have concerns?
A little bit, but after talking to Dr. Stan and other staff members, all those concerns were put at rest because we knew we had the support we would need.
William, what kind of concerns did you have? What kind of conversations did you and Tiffany have when you were preparing for this or considering it?
As far as concerns, we want to make sure that we, could um, be available for hosting whenever. As far as time frame, working. Hey, would we be like? Are we going to get calls like 3 in the morning?
Mhm.
That kind of thing. And sometimes you do. Depends on the situation. And so that was not really a major concern, but it was just like getting our mindset ready for that lifestyle. Like, hey, kind of any time, any minute, you may get a call, and you're having normal dinner, and then within an hour, you've got a 6-month-old that you're holding that you're going to keep for 3 days.
Wow.
And so you have to have that flexibility.
How do you have your home? And I mean, it's one thing to prepare mentally, but how do you have your home prepared to accept kids at a moment's notice?
Well, one of the things that Better Together does is they come in and do a home study, similar to like what a foster parent would go through with DCF. Is they come in, make suggestions in preparation. You have safety locks and things of that nature, and so you have adequate bedding available, and so you're just kind of on standby, and so it just becomes part of the normal routine or the normal setup of the house.
And Tiffany, what has your experience been? How many times have you been called and for what sort of circumstances?
We have had anywhere from two children to we've had a baby that was too young to go to daycare, but the mom had just gotten her first job.
Mhm.
And so we hosted that baby just during the day and not night times. And we've had other hostings that lasted a few weeks or more. Um, but we're open and available for whatever the need is for the family and the children.
Has it been rewarding? Has it brought anything to you that's been satisfying?
Oh, absolutely. Knowing that we're able to help and be a part of the family's journey and to keep the family together.
So Dr. Terry, this is a faith-based organization, and it is part of the state's embrace, I think, of more faith-based solutions or opportunities outside of the traditional state system. What is it? I mean, that offers you some flexibility and some freedom in terms of how you operate. But what is it that how do you vet families? How do you make sure that they're capable of doing the job? What kind of accountability is because the state's not providing oversight?
Excellent. That is absolutely correct. We are volunteer driven and professionally supported. So we have a full team that stands behind our volunteers and are there to provide any type of support that they need. As William said, there are significant vetting process. So once a family decides that they do want to host children in their home, there is an application process. Everyone in the household who is 18 or over has a level 2 background check. We do conduct the home study where we have a team that comes out to the home, goes over all the safeties, water safety, gun safety, sleep safety, everything. And if there is anything that the family needs support on, for example, if there is a water feature, a pool, retention pond, or anything like that, we require that there be two barriers between the home and the water. So if that family doesn't have a pool alarm or a lock for the door, we have organizations who have partnered with us to provide alarms. We do the little socket covers for electrical outlets, things like that, just to help the family along to be prepared because they are volunteers. They're not paid for this. They're doing it from the kindness of their heart. And we do consider ourselves a ministry. So we partner very heavily with the local church to recruit volunteers because they're already mission minded. Although we will take volunteers from anywhere, this is a group who wants to circle around these families, and we eventually want to connect these families back to a village.
And you said that this is an opportunity to intervene sort of upstream before a crisis becomes really untenable for a family and when they really are going to be separated. So you're not handling the worst abuse cases. You really are handling families that are experiencing more of some disruption, but is the kind of thing that the idea is that the family will be reunited. Is that right?
That is, we are a reunification based program. So if there isn't a clear path to reunification, and examples of that may be where there are situations where the parents want to give up their rights to the children. That's a very sad situation, but that's not something that we step into. Our goal is to work with parents who are already motivated for their families to stay together. They just need that additional support.
Yeah. Tiffany or William, I mean, is there something that you would tell families that are considering doing this kind of volunteer work to think about who you think is maybe best prepared to tackle something like this, qualities that you would want them to have?
Primarily, I think you want to have, a heart of compassion, and you want because you see a family in need, and it is different than your traditional fostering in that when you're because we also have been foster parents with through DCF
Okay.
as well, and so that focus is more on just the children. You're taking care of those kids in the situation they're in. With Better Together, it's trying to solve that root cause of what's causing that disruption. So that's where the job mentoring and those things come into play, and to help the parents so that the families can stay together. So having a heart of compassion for not just the children but also for the parents as well, and being able to step in, and you can be a host family, you can be a job mentor, or a combination of both if you feel like you can do both. And also, I think the biggest thing too is um, Better Together doesn't kind of just say, "Hey, great, here's some kids," and then call us if you need us. They're constantly providing support. Bringing by diapers and baby wipes and food and toys, and if it's little kids and educational stuff for older kids, and they're there constantly supporting you, so you don't have any worry about you're going to have to be out there on your own and take care of it by yourself. They're going to be there to support you along the way.
Just a couple seconds left, Tiffany.
Mhm.
Any thoughts that you wanted to add?
Yeah, just the support that we get from Better Together with the entire team. It eases anybody who would be apprehensive about joining and being a host home. You
All
don't
right.
have anything to worry about.
Well, Dr. Standralyn Terry, Tiffani and William Lancaster, thanks so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for
Thank you.
having us.